In this video, we're going to be looking at positive and negative numbers. I'll go through some of the basic rules around positive and negative numbers, and then we'll move into some questions and provide an explanation in terms of how we can do calculations with positive and negative numbers. So in maths, when you see a question, for example, 3 plus 2, and we know that that is equal to 5, well, each number actually has a sign. It's actually a positive value or a negative value. Now, if it's a positive value, we don't write the plus. So here we could technically have plus 3 plus 2 is equal to plus 5. But there's no need to write those pluses in blue because all the numbers are positive. Now, if we have some negative numbers, we do have to write the sign. So for example, if this was 3 plus minus 2, then that actually changes the answer that we have there, because 3 plus minus 2 actually gives you 1. Now how does that work? Well, you've got two signs here next to each other. And when you have a plus and a minus, the winner is always a negative. So that calculation there, instead of being 3 plus minus 2, we can rewrite it as 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. So I'll explain those rules now, and then we'll do some questions. Okay, so when you're adding or subtracting, the rules that we have to follow are that if we have two addition signs together, or two positive signs rather, the winner will be a positive. If we have two negative signs together, the winner is also a positive. And an easy way to remember this is, if the two signs are the same, the winner is always a positive. If the signs, however, are different, the winner is a negative. And I'll give you some numeric examples here as well. So let's say we had 3 plus 4. A plus and a plus, we can see from the rule on the left, means that the winner is a plus. So here we just have 3 plus 4, which is 7. In the second case, 3 minus 4, and I'm going to put the minus 4 in brackets again because it makes it a little bit easier to see. Now the winner is a positive, so 3 minus 4 actually means 3 plus 4. Therefore, it's 7 again. Let's just move these down a little bit so we've got a little bit of space. And if we have a look at the plus and the minus, if you have 3 plus minus 4, well, we can see that a positive and a negative, when they appear together, means that the winner is a negative. So we can rewrite that question as 3 minus 4. In this case, that gives you minus 1. And we'll use some number lines later on, and I'll show you how to use the number lines if you're unsure of how to do 3 minus 4. In the next case, we have 3 minus plus 4. Once again, a minus and a positive are two different signs. They're right next to each other. So the winner will be a minus, as 3 minus 4, which once again gives you minus 1. When you're multiplying or dividing, it's very similar. So let me take through those rules as well. So here, remember, if you have a number like 3 times 4, we've got the multiplication sign in the middle. So this time we're looking at the signs on the two numbers themselves. So they're not actually going to be next to each other in this case because there is a multiplication sign in the middle. So if we have a positive number multiplied by a positive number, the winner will always be positive. If we have a negative number multiplied by a negative number, the winner is also positive because the signs are the same. If we have a positive sign multiplied by a negative, the winner is a negative. And also, if we have a negative multiplied by a positive, the winner is a negative. Let's put some numbers around these to make sure that we understand them fully. So 3 times 4, let's just get rid of this. We know that's a positive, and that's a positive because we've got no sign currently written. So if there's no sign, we can assume that the number is positive. A positive times a positive means my answer will always be also be positive. So 3 times 4 is just 12. In the next case, I've got minus 3 times minus 4. I can put those in brackets if I choose, so let's do that. In this case, it's a negative number multiplied by a negative number, and that will mean my result is positive because we have the rule on the left. So here it's just 3 times 4, 12. Let's have a look at this one. 3 times minus 4. Well, I have a positive number over there multiplied by a negative number over here. A positive times a negative, looking at that rule, means that the winner is a negative, so I know my answer will be a minus or a negative. 3 times 4 is just 12. In this last case, we have minus 3 times 4. I'll put that in a bracket. A negative times a positive gives you a negative. 3 times 4 is 12. It's the same with divisions. So if we have a positive number divided by a positive number, the winner is a positive. A negative number divided by a negative number, the winner is a positive. A positive number divided by a negative number, the winner is a negative. And a negative number divided by a positive, let's change that, divided by a positive number gives you a negative. And you can write this as fractions as well. So if we have positive number over positive, the winner is positive. A negative over a negative, the winner is a positive. A positive over a negative gives you a negative. And a negative over a positive gives you a negative. So let's look at some examples. If we have 8 divided by 2, both numbers are positive. My answer will be positive. So 8 divided by 2 is just 4. If I have minus 8 divided by minus 2, both numbers are negative. My answer will be a positive therefore, so 8 divided by 2, once again, is 4. If I have 8 divided by minus 2, I have a positive sign here, a negative sign there. Because the signs are different, my answer will be negative. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And if we have minus 8 divided by 2, well, that's a negative there in the brackets. A negative and a positive gives me a negative. 8 divided by 2 is 4. If we look at it in terms of fractions, let's say we had 8 over 2. Both numbers are positive. The answer is positive. Minus 8 over minus 2. Well, I have a negative over a negative, so my answer is positive. Therefore, it's just 4. If I have 8 rather over minus 2, I have the minus on the bottom, I have a positive on the top. Positive and negative gives me a negative. 8 divided by 2 is 4. That gives me minus 4. And if I have minus 8 over 2, the negative over a positive, the signs are different. The winner is a negative, once again gives me minus 4. Okay, let's have a look at this question. So we'll say 5 minus 7. So if we start at the number 5 and we want to take away 7, well, you're going to jump back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get to 0. 6, 7, the answer is minus 2. If we take minus 4 plus 9, we're starting at minus 4 and we're adding 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to get to 0. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The answer is 5. Okay, let's have a look at these questions. So in the first case, in fact I'll number these, 1, 2, 3, and 4. In number 1, we have 4 plus minus 3. The plus and the minus are next to each other, so we have to determine the winner. From our rules, we know that a positive and a negative, the winner is a negative. So here we have 4 minus 3, so the answer is just 1. In question 2, we have negative and a negative together. So when the signs are the same, the winner is always a positive. So we're just doing 7 plus 2, which gives us 9. In the next case, it's nice and easy. 4 plus 5 is just 9. The last case is a little bit trickier. We see minus 2 minus minus 1. But remember, we need to look at the signs that are actually together. And the signs that are together are those two. A minus and a minus gives you a positive. That means we're now left with minus 2 plus 1. And if you have a number line, and if you start at minus 2, and you're adding 1, when you're adding, you're going in that direction, and when you're taking away, you're going to the left. So minus 2 plus 1, you start there, jump 1 to the right, gives you minus 1. Okay, let's have a look at these multiplications now. So in this first case, we have a positive number multiplied by a negative number. Positive times a negative means my winner is a negative because the signs are different. Then all I do is 4 times 5 is 20. In the next case, I have minus times a minus, which gives me a positive. 3 times 4, 12. In number 3, I have minus times a positive, which gives me a negative number. 6 times 4 is 24. And in the last case, we can do a negative number multiplied by a positive number, which gives you a negative, and then a negative multiplied by a negative gives you a positive number, so my number is positive, and then I just do 3 times 4 is 12, 12 twos, 24. However, there is an easier way to do a question like this. All you need to do is count how many negative signs there are. If they're an even number, the answer is always positive. If they're an odd number, the answer is always negative. Let's take an example. So if we did minus 2 times 3 times minus 2 times minus 1 times 3 times minus 1, all we do, we count the negative signs. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4. That's an even number, so my answer will be positive. So all I do is 2 3s are 6, 6 2s are 12, 12 1s are 12, 12 3s are 36, 36 1s are 36. And there's my answer. On the other hand, if I had something like minus 1 times 3 times minus 1 times 2 times minus 2, I count the negative signs. I have 1, 2, 3. It's an odd number. My answer is negative, so 1 times 3 is 3, 3 1s are 3, 3 2s are 6, 6 2s are 12. So you can separate out the negative signs, tot them up, count them up. If they're even, the answer will be positive. If the number of negative signs are odd, the answer will be negative, and then you just work out the numbers themselves, which makes it easy. And that's the same approach that you can use in algebra, and I'll cover that on a different video. I hope you found that introduction to positive and negative numbers useful. Please do check our YouTube channel for other videos as well. We upload every week. Please do subscribe, hit that bell icon, and you'll be notified of new videos as soon as they're released. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next video.